Alright, it's been a little while since we talked about some instrumental music, and time to fix that with today's group of focus, Russian Circles. They are a band from my hometown, and they just toured with System of a Down, which is crazy. I don't know how they pulled that off, but they did. So I hope that just introduced a lot more people to this band, because they are pretty kick-ass. So kick-ass that I'm barely going to talk about all their albums, because it's like, what am I going to say? It's instrumental. It's just, oh, I like these riffs more than these riffs. I don't know, man. You just got to hear it. You just got to hear it to know what I'm talking about. But they just put out their 8th album, Gnosis, just a couple days ago. So figured it's time. It's time we gotta talk about these guys, because as far as like post-rock, post-metal, instrumental music, they are absolutely one of the primetime big boys. Right there with Explosions in the Sky, but on the more heavier side. So yeah, let's just get right into it. Here are the albums, all except one. Here we go. Coming in at last place is album number 3, Geneva. So, the title track, Geneva, is straight evil sounding. But there's not a lot of songs like that on here. It's definitely their most chill album, which unfortunately puts it in the last place for me. Yeah, a lot of it's just kind of okay. Like Malco is the other one I would recommend off this album, but mostly the title track. I think that's the most important song on here, because the rest of it is just kind of okay. And a lot of the albums kind of have that, where there's like one strong standout and then the rest are just decent. But this one unfortunately only has the one standout. So, last place. Moving along to Empros, which I believe was the album that came after Geneva. Hit a little bit of a slow streak, but not that slow, because we have like half this album I think is just really good, especially with Mladic, however you say that. That one is like a very typical Russian Circle song that has like a bunch of cool stuff, especially in the last half. And then I also think Atakla and Batu are also pretty solid songs. So just a little bit more consistent than its predecessor, but not quite there with the hell yeah Russian Circle stuff. So you know how I mentioned that the title track Geneva is straight evil? Well, Blood Year has a lot of straight evil sounding songs. Arlock has a really cool rhythm. I like what they're doing in that song. And other songs like Sania, I think, is relatively close to how you pronounce it. Just a lot more brutal, evil sounding songs. I don't know how else to describe it. They just sound straight evil, and it's pretty cool. Alright, and the newest album, Gnosis, Noki, Gnosis, solid ass album. Especially when you get to like the ending of the title track, Gnosis. Very nice and brutal. But there's this album is full of nice calm moments too. Like in between the blasts of Vlastimil and Betrayal. Vlastimil, more like Blastamil, because my man's kind of going off. My man Dave is going ham on some blasts. Those are pretty much the highlights. You know, you got the Conduit, Gnosis, Vlastimil, and then Betrayal, I think, are my favorite tracks on this album. And yeah, very, very good album in a year of very average albums, I would say. And with Guidance, I guess they just decided to go ham in all of the last half of all their songs. Because the last half of Vorel, really good stuff. Africa, same thing. I say it like that because it's spelled with a K, I don't know. Africa. But then you get songs like Kala, which breaks that rule by being completely, totally killer. And then you have a bunch of soft tracks that really balance out the heaviness really well. I think this is just a really well put together album. And then we have their debut, a band's humble beginning with Enter, that gave us several pretty kick-ass tracks, especially with Death Rides a Horse. That shit is a fucking jam. The title track's really good too. New Macabre. There's a lot of really, really solid songs on this album, and I don't own it. Why don't I own it? I don't know, because they weren't selling it when they were... I bought all these albums when I saw them live, but they did not have the first album. I'm assuming because it's like under a different label. I don't know, but I don't got it. But still, as far as debut albums go, much better than a lot of bands. And our runner-up is Memorial. So, Memoriam, nice intro to the album, but once it kicks into Deficit, it gets you hyped for the album because it's really damn good. And the album keeps giving you really good stuff with the likes of 1777 and Burial. Yeah, man, it's just... I don't know. At this point, there's just how many 5-star songs do I have in all these albums? And this one has 3, but all 3 of those are just really, really damn good. But honestly, I don't have something to say on every song on any of these albums besides our number 1 pick, because it is absolutely one of the quintessential albums in post-metal history. Because Station is one of the greatest sophomore efforts I think I've ever heard. I mean, it starts with Campaign, which is explosions as hell. Very, very reminiscent of Explosion in the Sky, especially with the lead guitars and the cymbal work. But then when it gets heavy in Harper Lewis, shit gets hard. It continues with the extreme heaviness with the title track Station. Goes back to super explosions, metal out in Verses. And then we get to Youngblood, which is probably my favorite Russian Circle songs, because that's just pretty much perfect. It has the cool-ass intro riff, the punchy-ass beat, and then the chugging rhythm. Oh, such a good album. And then it ends with Roman numeral, whatever that is. It's like half clean, half brutal. The brutal stuff is them at their best. The clean stuff is them at their best. I would definitely recommend this album to any fan of instrumental music, post-rock, post-metal. Absolutely check out Station, the second album by Russian Circles, because it's going to be hard to top this. That's all I'm going to say. Really hard to top this one. So there you have it. There is my list. Be sure to let me know what yours is, or if you're new to them, go listen to Station, and then I promise you it's going to sell you on these guys. And wow, yeah. Speaking of new albums, we got this Megadeth album that just came out yesterday, so I got to get on that. We got to rank them finally after over a year waiting. Got to talk about my favorite albums of all time. Got to get into other bands. Man, a lot of work to do over here. A lot of work to do. But I suppose we have all the time in the world. I'd also like to give a proper thank you to 600 subs. It's awesome. Thank you to whoever came out in the stream. It was a lot less than 600 of you, all I'm saying. Some more of you better show up for the next one. But yeah, here we go. Road to 700. We're already chucking there. We're going to have to do something really big for 1,000 when we inevitably get there, like 2 years from now. So, that's it, y'all. Goodbye. I'm out of here.